So what we do in the matter state with the nanomaterials which we have today, with the dark color on top of the nano layer, we only are looking in. We are not looking across. If you had a chance to look not this way where you see the darkness because all the rays are absorbed, but look this way, you will see the most beautiful crystal structures man ever known. That is why when you put the tools which you know, you see 20 mega ohms, but this way you see superconductivity. This is the behavior of perfect crystal. This is the behavior of creating perfect crystal. So now you understand how to produce crystals. You've already been there, but you did not see the knowledge. Go back on the extension of the knowledge. The way we spoke about using composite. If you still use composite, use brass, different materials, you created bigger and smaller spacing in these layers of nanomaterial. Then you understand you can make the spacing in the right space, gravitational magnetic field positioning, and with it, now you can decide the size of the crystal. Because each one of these takes a position in the crystal. Spacing perfect, structure perfect. Now you see it is in your hand. You already all have been crystal makers. Perfect crystals. The crystals you made as nano layers, because it's so thin you don't have the tools to see, are the most perfect crystals man has ever made, because it's made by allowing the nature to do what it's happy with, to do without any damage, but taking the position it likes. Now, if you understood this, those of you who've been looking to make perfect crystal missed another point. Don't forget one thing. You put this nanomaterial into liquid of another field strength. You placed it and you released it as a gas. If you could understood, or if you understand now that in creating a condition to go from attachment to freedom, and you can create a condition where you can bring the freedom of the material in a spacing themselves to collectively correct way, you can create any crystal size you like. Now you have to look for a medium to be able not to let them loose to become the gases, but create a condition that in becoming loose, they find a position. You can have a diamond the size of the planet. We've seen it. There are diamond structures in the universe. There are stars which behave and are, let's say, the structure of a crystal diamond. It's been reported by NASA years ago. So now you understand the space of the universe allows crystallization in the dimension. It's the matter and the combination of the matter which you use dictates the spacing. But now you understand how you've all been building crystals, perfect crystals. You've been releasing it, but now you have to develop a technology where you can control this freedom. Don't let them loose and collect them as GANs, but collect them as crystals of the GANs. This is the space crystal structure. Then you can decide to make any material in a space by controlling the fields. Let's add to the knowledge furthermore. go back to what we talked about your CO2 box. The CO2 box which I developed and you followed, and a lot of you use it every day to make your ganses, is the operation of the universe. None of you ever understood. Too busy to see matter, that the world of matter of the man blinded the man. Let's open the knowledge. Go back to when you make the CO2 gas. You put the nano coated copper and you put a zinc plate. And then you immersed it in the water of the salt. Go back to the teaching. Go back in understanding what I continuously emphasize, but a lot of you were too busy to look at the CO2. If you remember, go back on the teaching, what we said, the gravitational magnetic field, which is created by the nanomaterial in respect to matter state, created the field of copper, where this field of the copper field of carbon, where the attraction gravitational magnetic field, which now you have created here, has made a magnet for the carbon in the space around the system to be attracted to come in, to match up, and in that process, in coming in touch with oxygen of the water, created your CO2. Understand the terminology. We did not create a CO2 absorption. Go back in the teachings. We created gravitational magnetic field of carbon by choosing the appropriate materials, which the division and the difference between some of their isotopes leads to creation of the environment which has gravitational magnetic field of an entity. In this case, the precise choice of the matter, nanomaterial, and the matter just gives you enough to create the strength of the fields of carbon. So, what do we talk about in the past 2 or 3 weeks? Field plasma technology. You have already created the plasmatic field, because the plasmatic field you created led to creation of gravitational and magnetical field in the strength of the carbon, which attracted anyone passing by. What you collected as CO2 is what this falls at the bottom. But this field never changed. What you see after a while, your system doesn't work anymore. You don't produce that much anymore. Because the reason being is it's not the field that is changed. You have consumed all the oxygen which was in the water. That's why your process stops. The field never changed. You change or feed oxygen into this container, you will get in CO2 for the rest of your life to come. So understand, you have already worked with diamond. You've already been creating the most perfect diamond in the universe in your nano layers. And now you had the knowledge. You were too busy looking at it to land at the bottom, where you are already, all of you have been working with a field plasma. We went into detail how that field plasma of carbon is created. Even if you put copper with copper, how is created that it allows the fields to flow. Now you understand, all of you from the beginning have been in the diamond business, and all of you have been in the field business. Now let's take the step further. Let's go and add to the knowledge a slightly little bit more. Very simple. Bring the understanding of the crystals, bring the understanding of the GANs material, and now put an entity in the middle which has nothing but has the field of the plasma of the carbon, and you create magnetic gravitational fields where now you can and you have the ability to use the fields to create your crystals. I see Giovanni's mouth opening. Put your chin up. This is the truth about all of you now understanding the technology in more depth, now bringing everything together. So if you understood this, if you understand this principle, and you can follow the principle, all of you can make any diamond, any size, any color, the size of your container. Would you like a 2-carat or a 2,000-carat? I give my biggest condolences to diamond bourses of the world. Total cost to make such a diamond will be less than 5 cents. I used to be a diamond dealer. I broke my own business. That's why I moved away from diamond business. Because I realized with what I have developed, what I had in my hand worth nothing. When you are looking for a carat of diamond, that I can make 1,000 carat of diamond. If you understand this, sooner or later, you lot will start producing diamonds, crystals like nothing.